Hello, investors and traders. Welcome to today's episode of Unusual Option Activity brought to you by the Market Action app. I am your host, Dersh. And for those who do not know what unusual option activity is, unusual option activity is buying or any buying or selling of option contracts that are tracked within our app using a specific algorithm outside its normal trading activity. So make sure you check out our app and learn. To learn more about unusual option activity, feel free to message us if you have any questions and we can share more. So with that, let's jump in. Before we get started, let's go through our disclaimer. This presentation is for educational purposes only, and this is not investment advice. So let's look at this one that we covered in our previous video. This just continues to keep going higher and higher. Last we checked, in the last video or yesterday, when these options closed around 2.9 or 3.9, sorry. Today they traded as high as 4.8, as you can see here. They just keep going up and up, just like keep exploding, like boom. And this was a fairly cheap option, which was for 93 cents when our app tracked it, and we even shared it with our subscribers in our video. And this has turned now into a 400% gain on a fairly cheap option. So that's what unusual activity is. For those who don't, basically you took every contract is for 100 shares. So 0.93 equals $93. Basically took $93 and turned those $93 into $482 over a period of few days. That's the power of options. It's very hard to do this with stocks. But hey, 400% in a matter of few days. And that's what unusual activity gets you. It's not always for 400%, but hey, we do get these big moves every now and then. Here's another one. This one can't catch a break. It just continues going down and down and down. In the last video when we shared, these were trading at around $11.60. Today they closed at $15.65 and even traded as high as $16.78. That's basically $1,100 turned into $1,600 in a single day. Boom, another one. Here you go. So those were some of the quick refresher about some of the ones that we covered in our previous videos. There are some other ones that are still trying to catch up, and we'll cover them when we see some movement on those. But without further ado, here are today's unusual option activity option. So we saw a lot of call buying in gold leaps. So by leaps, I mean these are option contracts that are way out in expiration. So these are about 323 days to expiration. So almost a year out. These are January 20th, 2023. However, somebody is trying to buy these fairly quickly in large quantities. So some of these came in as a trade, some of these came in as a sweep, and what you see here is only a fraction. Excuse my beeping in the background. My phone's ran out of battery. But what you see here is only a small amount of unusual option activity that we saw for the ticker GLD. We Outside this, if you have access to our app, you can see what all other different strikes have been traded, how much total premium has been traded, so on and so forth. But regardless, this is what we saw. You have ample time on these. I think the stock, let me see, what did the GLD close at today? Let's see. Come on, internet. Well, we'll let that load and I'll let you know. And that pops up. So GLD closed today at 179. So these 180s are very close to being in the money. The 183s still have some chance to go in the money, and as this gold just continues to keep going up with war rumors. I actually was in some of the gold calls and trimmed some of them today to cash in, as it's starting to get a little bit overstretched. But seems like more upside call buying, so it could continue its momentum higher. Something to definitely watch out for. And you can see these are way above, the volume was today was way above open interest on these. So something to keep an eye out for. Another interesting one that shows up that we don't see very frequently is URA. This is an ETF for uranium stocks. And we saw a lot of unusual option activity all the way from $26 all the way to $30 in out the money calls. This is today's. I'm going to try to do this every video, is to find unusual option activity where the contract price is less than $1 or $100, where for people who are just getting started, they can start out with some of these. I wouldn't call it completely inexpensive, but affordable option contracts to learn about unusual option activity and learn about option trading. So, coming back to URA, we saw some unusual option activity. This is also related to all the nuclear rhetoric as well as supply chain issues caused by the Russia-Ukraine situation. The price of commodity of uranium is spiking, and with that, we're seeing call activity in uranium. We had some CCJ calls about 2 months ago leaps calls that we were holding, and we saw them as unusual, come across unusual too within our app, and those provided amazing gains today. They were finally about 30% in the money, 30% in profits. So we cashed out some of those, and now we'll be looking at URA. So here's our today's option, unusual option activity below $1. So the 28 out of the money calls, we saw unusual option activity for 80 cents. They closed at 85, already up 50% from its previous day, and a lot of volume and a lot of open interest on these. So something to definitely keep an eye out on. And the stock, the ETF index closed at $24.64. So there's still room to the upside if it continues its momentum upwards. Plus, a good thing is these are cheap, as well as you have some time on your side. So you have 42 days to expiration. So in a no hurry year, even if it comes down a little bit, you still have a lot of time for it to eventually catch up and drive some profits, or even buy it cheaper. This seems to be a mistake, so I'm just going to skip through it. This is from our yesterday's slide. But hey, if we get enough likes and enough comments and enough shares, I'll throw in a bonus unusual option activity in the comments or in tomorrow's presentation when it comes to it. If you have not done it yet, please go to the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store and search Market Action to download our free mobile app where you can see some of this unusual option activity. And if you want to get notified, you can subscribe to our 7-day free trial. Alternatively, you can also visit marketaction.live to sign up for a free trial, and you can get access to both not just the mobile app, but the desktop app as well, where you have a lot more information available to analyze some of these unusual options. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for our pre-market morning bite. In this video, before market opens, I tend to go over stocks that are trending on social media, as well as something to watch out for as you prepare for your trading day. And once again, please share your comment and feedback or any questions you may have on whatever social media you're watching on. Maybe it's Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, whatever that may be. And please like, comment, and share this with your fellow traders. And continue to trade responsibly. And we'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care and have a good evening.